Realtree's Midwest Whitetail is brought to you by Cuddyback, Drake Non-Typical, Easton Arrows, Frigid Forage, Fuse, Grizzly Coolers, Hoyt, RK Tractors, Ozonics, Redneck Blinds, Wasp Archery, and Realtree.
Well, it's October 25th. We were able to slip into the stand that we call the point stand. Right behind me is the cutty link that we've been getting all the really nice bucks on camera hitting the scrapes. So we're after a buck called Flamer and a couple of 8-pointers. So we got a good wind. It's swirling a little bit, but we got the ozonics running, so that should help. But should be a great night. We'll see what happens. Well, we've had a lot of excitement, a lot of bucks chasing does, especially in the woods. A lot of them aren't coming out. They'll chase them, and then the does will look back in there. Then we had a nicer 8 come up high. We got a doe coming out right now. So we'll see how the rest of this hunt unfolds. And we're going to have to try to sneak out of here. I got a coyote call that if they're all over us, I usually hit that, and they'll bump them into the woods so we can get out of here. So, but it's a good hunt. Hopefully, we still got some time left. Hopefully, something shows. So, stay tuned. Well, that's a good sign. I just got up in here. That doe and fawn were in a hurry, so every doe I've been seeing the past couple of days has been getting bumped by bucks. So hopefully, maybe there's something still coming behind her, but got a perfect wind. I was able to slip in here. We got a bunch of rain last night. Got a nice picture of the cutty, on the cutty link, just on the outside of the field here, just to my right, about probably 80 yards. So this is a bedding area I'm hunting, or right in between. And been able to shoot some nice bucks out of this stand. So we'll see how this unfolds. By myself, and my brother's car broke down, and this buck, I had those doe and fawn come in, and this buck comes trotting in. Oh my gosh, that is a good buck. He just tipped over behind me. I didn't even bother because it's so thick. Unbelievable. Thank you. Oh, the Hoyt, baby, I love it. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to make some calls. That is a beautiful buck. I got one picture of him over by, right over to my right. And I was actually trying to play a different buck that we call Flamer. But I told my dad and brother that if that deer comes in, I'm taking him. So, oh my gosh. Well, I've been calling and texting everybody. And I thought I heard something behind me. My brother and dad still have buck tags, so I'm trying to be quiet. I'm gonna wait till these deer get out of here, and I'm gonna get down, and I want to wait to actually go see them until I get my dad and brother. So I'm trying to have them meet me here so they can capture everything on footage. So I'm gonna get down and I don't know, try to decide from there. So stay tuned. Well, we just got back this morning. I was able to put a good hit on that buck, and I went and got my wife and my dad to help me film and to drag. So my arrow's right here. As you can see, it's just covered in blood. I heard him crash, so let's go find him quick. Well, here he is. It's October 27th. Yesterday, we had pictures of a four-wheeler coming through here, and we kind of got worried. So last night, my dad and I did a little scouting job from afar and saw a deer came out, so those people must not have gone in here. And I came in this morning, sat for maybe 45 minutes, didn't even put my non-typical jacket on, and doe and a fawn came through, and this guy followed a couple minutes after, and I had pictures of him on the Cuddy Link in the summer, and got a picture of him, I believe it's him, a couple days ago at noon on a scrape just right over here. So he gave me about a 12-yard shot, and he only ran probably 25 yards, 30 yards, and tipped over. So couldn't be happier. The Hoyt did the job, and I'll have to get him loaded up on the four-wheeler that we got running, because it likes to shut off and not restart. So my dad and I are gonna drag him out and get him hung up. So beautiful hunt.
Well, today is October 24th, and we're back here at the ditch property hunting the back corner of the cornfield that we've been hunting. We're about 50 yards from the stand that we were hunting earlier. The wind direction is now to the west-northwest, which makes this inside corner a lot better. The deer can't wind us from the stand because it's blowing across this open grass pasture, and there's very minimal chance the deer will come from that pasture along the edge of the woods and wind us. So it's a really good setup for this wind. We're still shooting down to the cornfield if anything comes around the cornfield. The only shot that we really lose out on is if any deer do what that little buck did and take the inside runway along the woods. But my hope is if they do that and take that runway pops out about 30 yards from this tree here, so we'll still be able to hopefully get a shot off if they do take that runway like those deer were doing when we were sitting in that tree stand. So that's the hope for tonight. We're going to keep going and see if we can't get lucky and have something come by tonight. There's a buck behind her. Well, we're down to the last minute or two of light, and we just had a couple of deer walk by. The first one was a doe, and I tried to get a shot off at her, but she was quartering to when she was in our opening, and then by the time she cleared to broadside, she was behind a bunch of brush, or a bunch of corn stalks, and I didn't want to get my arrow deflected, so she ended up turning and walking down one of the corn rows, and behind her a little 6 or 7 point buck came out, and of course he took his time through our opening. They have a runway going through the cornfield, and both these deer are on that runway, and of course he takes his time coming through our opening and gives me all kinds of broadside shots, but the doe never did, and they both ended up working their way to the runway and then turning down the corn rows and ended up walking into the middle of the cornfield. So the deer are definitely still in here, and hopefully as we get closer and closer to November, these deer keep moving more and more during daylight. So we're going to slip out of here now and head back to the truck and hopefully we keep seeing some deer back here.
Alright, it's October 23rd, and I just got set up in the burn field here after work quick, and I was just setting up my camera arm and everything up, and 2 does walked out into the field down on the east end of the field here. Last night I got pictures of the deer that I've been going after this year, thrasher, in this little staging plot right behind me, which is to the west of me. We got a west wind tonight, so it's blowing straight along this point with me out into the field a little more. So anything that's in this pure trophy clover down here or over to the south of me here, I should have a shot at before they get out into the bigger fields. Unless of course they come out down on that end. The winds aren't very strong tonight, but I'm expecting it's going to be a pretty good night. I always have really good luck on October 23rd, the last 2 years in a row. I've seen a shooter on October 23rd, so these does are running right down here right now towards me, so I'm going to get quiet. Should be a good night, but stay tuned. Okay guys, I'll give you a quick little update here. There's 4 does out in the field right now, but about 15 minutes ago I had a nice 3-year-old 8-pointer come right through here, and he gave me about a 30-yard shot at one point, but he's not a deer that we're looking to shoot. So I just heard a super big or a super loud buck grunt back here, and a bunch of chasing, so I don't know if there's another buck back there or if it was the same one, because he kind of went in that way. But that was pretty cool. I wish I would have got it on video. It was one of the loudest buck grunts I've ever heard. It was more of a buck roar. But when I was filming that buck, there was 2 does behind me here that I didn't see, and they spooked, but it doesn't seem to affect it much, so it's getting towards the end here. It might get kind of good, so hopefully a deer that we're going after steps out.
Okay guys, well, I ended up only seeing those 2 smaller bucks that tonight, but probably seen like 15 does. That's all that came out tonight. I considered shooting a doe just to clear the field to get out, but it just didn't happen in the right scenario. But overall, it was a pretty good night. I think tomorrow's going to be better, so I'm going to try and get out tomorrow afternoon. It'll probably be late if I do. But I think it's going to be one of those days that I don't want to miss, October 24th tomorrow. So thanks for tuning in to the Great Lakes Show, and keep tuning in because the action's going to keep getting better. So thanks for watching.